everyone, and welcome to our webinar. My name is Alexi Gordon-Stewart, Marketing Director here at BIM Track. We're really excited to present BIM Track to you guys today for improved BIM communication. And this webinar is really focused on the Asian construction industry. We're very interested by this market. You guys are doing a ton of awesome work over there, and we're excited to get going. So just a few housekeeping notes before I hand you off to my colleague, Charles Forrest. We will be taking questions throughout the webinar. So if you look at the bottom, there's a Q&A section there. Feel free to type in that chat any questions you have whatsoever during the webinar. I'll do my best to answer them via chat during the webinar, and we'll also put some of those questions to Charles directly at the end as well. Please note that everyone who is registered will be automatically sent a recording, and feel free to share this recording with any other colleagues you feel might be interested. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you guys off to Charles.
Thank you, Alexine. Good morning to everyone. And hopefully everybody's doing well. Maybe you're working from home. Well, hopefully everything's fine on your side. So my name is Charles Forrest. I'm the Business Development Manager here at BIM Track. I'm very happy and very excited to be hosting this webinar today with you. So BIM Track for improved BIM communication. So we'll have a look at that and see what it means. And here we go. So let's see what's the agenda for today. First, we'll go through a short introduction, personal and corporate. Then we'll go through a live demonstration of BIM Track, so all the integrations we have for this. Well, I'll explain which integrations you can work with BIM Track with, but for this specific webinar, we'll be using Revit and Navisworks, which I already opened here. Then we'll go through issue management, model visualization, issue dashboard, and the issue reporting. And finally, we have a Q&A session also, and we'll see what could be the next steps for you guys. So, Alexine, again, thank you very much for being here with me today. Charles Forrest, maybe I can give you a quick introduction. After founding my own company, I joined a artificial intelligence company called AI Works, which was acquired by Bentley Systems, and that's where I actually put my feet in in BIM for the first time, and I already knew the guys from BIM Track, so I decided to jump in with the BIM Track team, and it's been so great since. I mean, already going through the Asian market, so we've achieved a lot already, but there's more to come. I was gonna wait until the end of the webinar, but I just can't wait. I just shared a LinkedIn announcement right about maybe 5 minutes ago, saying that we have a new partner in Hong Kong called ISBIN. So very happy, very glad to partner up with them. Don't know if you want to add anything about this, Alexine. I know that you've worked a lot about this partnership also with me. So did you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, we're very excited to be partnering with ISBIM. I'll actually send in the chat to everybody right now the link if you guys would like to go ahead and take a look at that and find out more information about the partnership.
All right, so there you go. So let's have a look on what exactly where we come from exactly. So BIM Track is a software as a service. It's part of BIM One. BIM One is a consultant service firm here in Canada, in Quebec. So the reason why we created BIM Track actually is that the BIM One kind of a service side of things heard really a need in the industry. So we knew that the AEC industry needed a better communication in the BIM process. So BIM Track was created from that. So today we work in as a software as a service. We don't have any boundaries. We can work globally. We have many clients here in America, mostly in the United States. We actually have a team, a full team working there full time, and we also have a lot of users in Europe, more specifically in UK, France, Sweden, Norway, in Australia, and of course more and more in Asia. Like it's really a great market there, and our communication tool, I think, is just coming in at the right moment. So I'm really glad that we have this webinar today. Um, so been a software as a service and a cloud software allows us to work with big companies like we saw on the slide just before. But we also, since our financial platform is based on the number of seats, so on the number of users you're inviting to your hub, we can actually work with very large companies and very large hubs with thousands of users. But we can actually have also, it's also accessible for small and medium teams, so it's a very flexible tool on this side.
Yeah, it's nice and it
um,
really
yeah,
sort of sorry to interrupt, Charles.
no, it's okay.
It really scales and grows with your team. So we can build in that flexibility for you guys if you need it, which I think is one of the big attractions of BIM Track.
Yeah, absolutely. And most of our users are GCs, but also we have lots of owners. We've been working with airports projects, hospital projects, um, and yeah, so it's a very flexible tool. So yeah, like Alexine says, your hub will grow as your team grows, also, and the project grows. So these are the main features of BIM Track. So of course, we do issue tracking. We have a 2D, 3D web viewer, all the information, all the metadata that comes along with the issues while creating issues, that provides us with metrics and reports. And we have an open API also, so there's no limit of what you can do actually with BIM Track and our open API. We have integrations with where there's some clients using Power BI, for instance. I have a slide later for that also, but we integrate with many other softwares. So here's why BIM Track is so famous and why exactly it's so great to be implementing BIM Track to your workflow. Is that we try to avoid this process here where you will be sending lots of emails with screenshots, scheduling too many meetings sometimes for just a few issues that you want to talk about, or sharing different types of format files. So for instance, you have this BIM modeler here working in his favorite tool, sharing this information to other colleagues, like a BIM manager will where we'll be doing some clash tests. All the information has to be also shared with other groups and other subs. So this is a workflow that I kind of understand, why people can work like this way. But with you don't have any direct links to models. It's very time consuming, and when you have BIM Track in the center of everything here, well, of course, it makes the workflow much lighter and much easier. And the thing is that it's not only about creating an issue. You want to solve the issue, but you want also you don't want to change your workflow too much. You want to keep the workflow that you have so that the onboarding with your colleagues goes smoothly, but you just want to improve your actual workflow.
Yeah, if you don't mind if I interject there,
Yeah. No,
Charles,
thank you.
I know a lot of software vendors love to put their icon in the middle of a graphic here and say, we're at the center of everything. But I think the interesting thing is that BIM Track is really it's connective tissue between all your different applications. So your teams that are working in Revit can stay in Revit and have their BIM Track pane of issues. Teams that are working in Navisworks can stay in Navisworks and have that BIM Track pane of issues, but all the issues are updated whether you're working on the web platform, which Charles will explain later on, or in these individual add-ins. So it's not, oh, you need to jump into BIM Track to view this. It's really, you could be working from wherever, and those issues are always up to date.
Yeah, I agree. It's not, yeah, actually, this bin track logo in the center it sounds like we're gonna have to look at bin track the whole day within our workflow. But yeah, clearly, you just connect your actual tools where you work on with bin track, and it makes things very smoothly. So key benefits, actually, I already said a couple of them, but reduce the emails and meeting duration. Um, I'll show the reporting options also, so you don't have to manually create your coordination meetings documents. It increase the accessibility and the accountability of the team. They increase the transparency in the process. Communication is centralized, so it's really these are the most the key benefits that we hear the most from our users. So integrations, if you're a Autodesk Power user, you'll be very happy. We have some very nice and handy plugins in Revit, Navisworks, for instance, which I will be using today. We also have integrations with Solibri, Tekla, and other BCF-based link with BIM Track that we can talk about. If you have any questions about that, just let us know at the end, and we can talk about that also. And again, it's a cloud-based tool, so it's very easy to access. Your team can be working remotely, of course, nowadays. So it's a very handy tool. And this is just a quick slide. I wanted to show you that we can integrate with Power BI. It's a very famous tool here in America. I don't know if you guys are using it also. You might have something comparable, but it's just if you want to have deeper dashboards and reports, something to have a global view of your multiple projects and hubs. That's something we can connect with. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in BIM Track. I already have my bimtrack.co webpage open here. As you can see, first I'll go just a quick overview of the website. We have some very interesting blogs here, and our resource center with the help center. It's really interesting. You just it's like a Google for BIM Track. You just type what you're looking for, and you can find the information there. We have all the case studies and webinars available here. Our API is accessible directly from the website. And of course, we have a live support chat that you can access from here. It's in French right now because I'm located in Quebec, but it will be in English in your area. You can also sign up for a free trial if you want. It's very simple. You just click here and fill out the information, and you'll have your free plan going on. So of course I have my hub already opened. Let's go ahead and log in. There we go. I'll be using my BIM Track hub. So this is the name of my hub and my logo. So if you want, you can add your own company name and your own company logo right here. So inside a hub, you can have an unlimited number of projects. So right now I have 6. I will be using this car dealership project for today. So first thing we see in BIM Track is just the main dashboard, very high level, with the latest activities. You can filter activities here and have hyperlinks directly to, if you want to travel from one issue to another very quickly. You can click on that part of the donut here if you want to go directly to the 20 due issues or on-time issues right here. So it's I'm not going to spend a lot of time here just to show you that when you get a BIM track, it's always nice to have just an overview and who did what today. I just want to have a quick look on that.
Yeah, it's a really nice place for individual users to have a little bit of a check-in of what's happened overnight, say if there's teams working, across the world in different locations, and to really see what project issues are assigned to them and keep them on task.
Yeah. Then let's move to the issue dashboard. So on the issue dashboard, it's so all the issues are actually gathered here. So this is actually a very important dashboard. You're gonna keep this one pretty close, I'm sure. You have three different types of views. A grid view also available here, depending on how you wanna sort your issues. There's the filters. So as you can see, everything is color coded here. All my critical issues are red. All my high priority issues are yellow. But you could change that if you want. You could say, for instance, okay, give me all my RFI type of issues blue and my comments yellow and so on. So depending on which attributes, I will explain later what's an attribute exactly in BIM Track. But depending on attributes, you can customize your color code here. And the filters, well, this is very important. That's where you will be saving lots of time too. So you could say, for instance, show me only my personal issues here. Show me only my issues with that are also tagged as clashes, and so on. So as you can see, I have 133 issues. So I could say, show me only critical and high priority issues with an open status, for instance.
What's
So
nice about this is all that
yeah,
metadata is in your issues already. So it's not like there's any additional work involved because you have that data of who it's assigned to, when it's due, criticality, etc. You can run these reports very, very quickly. You can also create templates for these reports too, so you don't need to manually click things if it's a report you regularly run. And great, of course, just to see your own issues and see what's going on.
yeah. For example, if I would like to, I know that every day I will be looking for my critical high with an open status assigned to myself. I can save that to my quick filters, to my personal filters here. I can share that to my team also. So yeah, you don't have to search it all over again every day. You can just save that. So I'm gonna just apply here and go from 133 to 9. So it's a very good way to concentrate your time and optimize your energy during the day, knowing exactly what you're really working with. So let's have a look at this 1352 door issue here, so that we can have an idea of what an issue looks like in BIM Track. Um, so first you have all the comments on that specific 1352 door issue here. I can also add an image that will also be available in my report. So if I have my main thumbnail with an image linked to that comment here, I will have two images in my reports. I can also have I can just drop different types of files here. I see the whole history of the issue. So who did when and what. Everything is date and timestamp since the very beginning, since the creation of the issue. And we have that Procore integration available also right here, if that's something that you're using. And we have this, so as you can see, I have multiple images for that same issue. I have, my main thumbnail comes from Navisworks. I have another image coming from Revit. All my images here are all synced in BIM Track. So
And what's
these are, yeah, sorry,
Sorry,
Alexi,
sorry,
go
Charles.
ahead.
That's okay. And what's great about this is anyone can log into a web viewer to see this. So if you have a project manager, for instance, who isn't going to be day in, day out in Revit or Navisworks, or you want to give access to your owners for certain issues, and you can restrict the confidentiality and the access to certain issues. But this is a really easy way for them to go in and see what's going on a project or with specific issues. For the people who are doing the heavy lifting and resolving it in the authoring software. We'll get to the add-ins in a minute, but this is a really easy way to open up access for anyone really to see what's going on in the issues.
Yeah, and so for example, if I want to, let's say I want to change that title here, I just click on that edit pan here, and I can change the title. I can add a description. I can also change the whole all the attributes. So I could say, okay, I'm going to change that to resolve. Which type of issue is this? So all the attributes here, the information that I will be applying will, of course, have an impact in my metrics and my reports, and also in my the way that I will sort my issues in my filter, I was going to say. And so this is, when you have the premium plan, because we have a standard and the premium features, so you can have access to that on the website. But when you have a premium hub, you can actually customize the attributes also here. So let's say that you have, you're working on a big hotel project, and you also have another project going on at the same time. Which is so you will of course have different types of zones. You will have, you might want to have to customize your attributes depending on which project you're working on.
One thing I'd really like to draw you guys' attention to is the comments fields there. What's really interesting about BIM Track's comments fields is after you've written a comment, it cannot be edited, deleted, or modified. And what this gives everyone, oh no, I'm being assigned an issue. What this gives everyone is full accountability and traceability, and it just protects everyone so that there's understanding of what was decided when and by who. And say you forget what was decided when and by who, it provides something that is very unbiased for people to go back and check. And what we've heard from clients is it takes the heat out of these debates because it's just cold facts in here, and then everyone can review it, go back, see what was decided, and move on from there. So it really helps improve relationships with different teams as long as it's used correctly.
Yeah, and before moving to the web viewer, I'm just gonna do a quick technical link between the issues and the viewer. But depending on which tag that you will be selecting in the discipline field here, this will actually have an impact on which model will be opened also in the web viewer, or also in your different softwares you're using. So this is a very sensitive tool also. And we're working very hard also to keep it that way. So let's move to the web viewer. As you can see, I have another menu that appears in the center of the screen here. So I have different. These are this is my project tree with all my IFC files. I can just drag and drop some IFC files directly here. I can also schedule. This is another premium feature, but if you're inside Revit, for instance, and you want to schedule your IFC to be uploaded to BIM Track, you can do that directly through Revit, and you won't have to do it manually. You can do that overnight if you want, actually. So like at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, you will have that Windows task running, even if your computer is closed, and the model will be pushed to BIM Track. So let's have a look at, let's activate this IFC from the architectural. I will also go to my sheets to show you another premium feature. So if I go to my sheets here and I have all my 2D plans, which are PDFs here, I can actually activate let's say my mezzanine 2D sheet on top of my 3D model, and that will actually activate my hyper modeling option here. So it makes the web visualization very easily. So there's a lot to say about the web viewer. We could talk about that the whole day, but I think that the best thing to do is just to open a free trial, give it a try, upload your files, play around and see how it works. There's so many things we could we could demonstrate here. We also have a YouTube channel with lots of different types of demonstrations that we have. And yeah, so I'm just gonna go to spaces real quick, show you that if you would like, for instance, to be working on a specific space in your model, you can do that from here. You can just change colors to different types of elements in your models, and so on. You can save also. You can create issues, of course. So creating issues is not only from your softwares. You can do it from the web viewer. Let's actually go to Revit for a minute, and I'm just going to show you what is the workflow between our plugins and the website. So let's create an issue. There's different ways to create issues inside Revit and also inside Navisworks. Inside Revit, you can localize an issue. This will give you a very specific point where you will create your issue, and your X, Y, and Z coordinate will be located from that specific targeted click that you selected. If you create an issue, this is just a screenshot of what we're looking at, and the X, Y, and Z coordinate will be coming from the camera position where we are right now. And you can also create issues from with saved views that you have in Revit. So let's just create an issue here for the demonstration. There we go. As you can see, I have my attributes that are still following me. So all the attributes that we saw earlier are still here. I can, there we go. So, and my description, I can also annotate. I'm using Paint here for the for this demo, but you could use your own annotation tool if you want to. Gotta make sure I'm gonna assign this to someone. I'm gonna assign this to myself, Alexine, don't worry. And
let me off the hook.
Choose the right discipline. Which type of issue is this? You know, all the attributes here will be following. So let's just publish this. As you can see, it's coming right up on top of my issue list inside Revit. It's called Test Webinar. If I want to, I could actually view and edit again and change some things here. I will still have access to my comments, to my attachments, and the history. Same thing with all the others, of course. So if I want to go to my issue list inside BIM Track, so as you can see, I have access to my test webinar here. Same thing in Navisworks. Just going to make sure I'm going to select the right hub and the right project so that Navisworks know what I'm working on right now. And there we go, I have my test webinar right here. So I can click on view and model and go directly to that exact viewpoint and start working from there and sending information to other teams. In Navisworks, actually, you can create issues from clashes too. I'm not going to go through all the details, but if you're using Navisworks for your clash test, you can actually create issues directly from here.
And those issue
Let's have a look
pinpoints,
now.
you guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Charles. I'm just saying those issue pinpoints you guys saw on the last screen there. It's a really nice way to visualize your issues, and you can even sort of drill down to the building by floor and by level and see those too. So it's a really handy feature to visualize where in the building you're focused on, and it's a good way to identify any clusters of clashes and things like that too. There's a lot of fun that can be had playing with that. Sorry. Totally
No,
interrupted your flow,
I'm
Charles.
actually selecting. Thanks, Alex. No, I was actually trying to find an issue to choose from, but
Sorry, guys.
yeah, there you go. So as you can see, this one is actually boxed in, but yeah. Let's have a look at the metrics now. So like we said before, when you create an issue, lots of metadata is available. So it's a good way to create metrics for an overview. I'm thinking about BIM managers, BIM coordinators, for instance. They want to have a global view of the projects. So you can say, for example, okay, show me how many issues do I have related to disciplines. So I can say, it's very easy to see that I have 48 in my architecture here, right here. So I have 48 issues that are tagged architecture. Inside these 48 issues, let's go with priority. I have 9 that are critical, and I have 3 assigned to like Alexine, or I can say, okay, how many, which depending on levels. So all of this, you can go you can go on forever if you want, actually. But these are very handy, and they will actually follow you through the reporting. Also, I will show you that right after. And this is
Okay.
a good way. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Alexine.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, it's a really nice tool to play with because, say you have you look at your issues and you see, okay, we have a lot of critical issues that aren't resolved for our coordination meeting in 2 days, for instance, and you start to drill down and explore, okay, why is this happening? And because you have all that metadata already there, it's really not much additional work. And say you find out that almost all those critical tasks are, say, assigned to one or two people, that's a management problem rather than a personnel problem. And that's on the project manager to fix. So with metrics like these, you can access that information and hopefully put a corrective course in action before you guys fall behind on your coordination goals.
Yeah, and you can actually have access to your PDFs directly from here, your issues, all the hyperlinks on each and every steps here. All right, so let's move to reports. So on the report here, again, we still have our filters with all the attributes. So you can, again, you don't have, this is one of the features that a lot of people like, because they're, instead of doing the work manually, you can just actually schedule the reports to come to you automatically. So you can say, let's use the same tags that we had earlier. I think it was critical and high open, so we know that we're gonna have 9 issues here. Um, so yeah, it's you can actually schedule this reports. You can select which metrics do you want to have inside your report, because you might not want to have your issue by groups, for example. Um, you can include or not the comments. So lots of flexibility, and again, with this scheduled reporting, you know that you will have every week on Tuesday at 1:30, 1:34 a.m. I can change that maybe. So you can play with that, and you know that you will receive this report to your email, to yourself, or to other colleagues of your team with critical, high, and open the tags that you've already selected, so you can schedule that and you don't have to do it manually again. Let
This
me
is
show you
huge.
what.
Like, sorry, Charles. This is
Okay.
huge. I don't know how many of you guys are running a manual coordination process, but that alone can save you a couple hours every single week, especially if you're the person responsible for collating that report. Traditionally you'd have to go and check emails, go and check here, there, and everywhere to try and assemble where everything is at. And this is literally sent directly to your inbox. There's no additional work required.
Yeah, this is a huge time saving, and lots of people are just they realize how much time they will save from here, and so the thinking is stops here. It's really a clear decision. Yeah, let's have a look of what the report looks like. So we have our let me close that. So we have our the hub name and logo, the project name here, the summary. We have all the metrics that were on before I created my report, and all my issues with the 3 tags I've already selected are available here. As mentioned before, when you have an image in the comments, as you can see, I can have more than one image for in my report for an issue here. And the great thing about that is, we have our test webinar right here. So I can actually, this isn't a hyperlink. So if I click on that test webinar, it will bring me directly to that specific issue here. And even if I actually save this as a PDF and send it to someone, it's actually the hyperlink will stay active here. So this is again, the report is really, really important for anyone that actually does manually their report right now. Yeah. So that's pretty much it right now. As for the live demo, maybe I can talk real quick about the project settings before I move to the Q&A. You know, right now is this is the attributes where we can actually add new or customize our attributes. I wanted to show you, yeah, I wanted to show you the teams and users actually. Let's talk about that real quick. So, because I already spoke about how you can customize your attributes. So inside teams and users, every time we open a new hub, we will actually have a few sessions of onboarding with our customer success managers. So it's a very important way to train your team and to get to know you, of course. So it's good for you, but it's good for us. So we want to make sure that we understand how you're going to use BIM Track, and if we're going to do everything we can do to help you with the onboarding and make the onboarding easy and smooth. The first onboarding session is always just about half an hour just to get to know you, get to know the project. Then we have another 60-minute session with defining the roles with the administrators. So we're really taking everyone hand by hand just to make sure that you have an excellent experience with BIM Track and you're happy. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Did you want to add anything about this, Alexine?
No, I would say, BIMTrack's very easy to use. If you guys don't have the right project to start with, I would suggest just using it internally amongst your team. If you're sending screenshots back and forth, emails, things like that, it's a great tool just to understand that back and forth communication a little bit more. And you might even be able to use our free trial for that. So that's unlimited amount of users, unlimited amount of models, but you're limited to 50 issues. So you might even be able to get away with the free version to start with. And what I would suggest is just having a play with that. You can use the in-app chat. You can see the little smiley face in the corner there. And if you have any questions, but what this allows you to do is really to get comfortable with BIM Track before implementing it on a larger project. Because where it gets a little bit complicated is setting up your project settings, the rules for closing out an issue, establishing more of that sort of rules of communication around it. We've seen many cases where BIM Track comes into a project, spreads like wildfire, but no one's thought about the approvals process behind it. So it's really important to understand that thoroughly before you implement it on your first project. And we're there to hold your hand through it. We have live training sessions, I think 6 times a week now, that you guys can jump in on, as well as dedicated customer success managers as well. So I think, did you have anything else you wanted to run through there, Charles? Thanks very much, Charles. So everyone's very quiet on the Q&A this morning. So thank you very much for attending today. And if you'd like to share that along with anyone, please go ahead. I know if you're interested in contacting us, you have Charles's email right here. We do have a question, which is great presentation, nice refresher. That's not a question. But yeah, like we said, so really encourage you to sign up for that free trial. If you'd like a one-on-one demonstration, yourself and more colleagues, you can reach out to Charles here as well. So without further ado, I guess we'll be ending the webinar. Thanks very
Right.
much for
Well,
your time
thank
there.
you very much. Thanks, Alexine, again for jumping in on the webinar with me today.
That was great. Take care, guys.